Today's Sunday, June 24th. It's a beautiful clear blue day in Santa Clara. I'm headed up to the Santa Cruz Mountains and Felton to the Bigfoot Discovery Museum for their monthly meeting. We are in Scotts Valley, about 10 minutes from Felton. I'm going to go in here to Subway and get a couple of sandwiches for the potluck tonight at the museum.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's unbelievable.
I want to make that
What's this video about?
put it on my hand.
Now, when they turned on the Quail Hollow Road, this is a way out of the way for them, but they just do this just because they like to ride. They're new. They're only been living here now about 7 months. They love the area, so they went on a little scenic tour. She said she does it now all the time.
So they took Zion to Quail Hollow.
Yeah, so this is a crazy thing. This was at 8:30 at night. Wow. Okay, this wasn't midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. This is 8:30 at night. Driving up Quail Hollow Road. Okay?
How long? What time of night?
8:30. She just turned the. This happened.
A year.
This happened in April.
April, okay,
So
8:30.
she's coming from Graham Hill Road of Zion. She makes a left on Quail Hollow.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, boom. So she's driving up there, her and her daughter. All right. They're driving up. She goes, passes the gate, and they swerve through there, and they go up the straightaway, and boom! All of a sudden, they see something backing up. She passes by. They both pass by. They both look. As they see this thing, it's trying to stay motionless. Boom, she sees a 7-foot Sasquatch, black in color, face, shoulders, whole side. As they look down, it's holding tight to its side a baby Sasquatch, half the size, up to her hip, holding it tight, just staying frozen solid. They watch with their eyes just come by like this, and then boom, she passes by. They look at each other, go, oh my God, they start freaking out. They go up about a house distance, they stop, come back in reverse, didn't even try to turn, just came back in reverse all real crazy like, came back and did this backing up type thing to try to see where it went, gone, both of them gone. But a sighting of a small and a large Bigfoot, she didn't know which way it went. When they drove back up to it, they had the windows rolled down, they're being real quiet, they could smell a stench of rotten, muddy animal.
Female.
It says it smells like the mud after the freeze, after the first thaw.
So you're thinking it was a female.
They had a juvenile with it. He called me on the phone. He said, I found some tracks. Very fresh. And I said, well, how good are these tracks? Can you see toe impressions? He said, yes. I said, so you can see the toes. You can see all the 5 toes on the print in this fresh dirt. Yes. So that was pretty exciting because we have yet to cast a nice, full-on track in the area yet. We've had people say they've seen them, but we haven't been able to find one to cast it yet. So we got pretty worked up over this one. I got a hold of Ralph, and we went out there that afternoon after we closed the museum down. And it's funny how people will tell you, yeah, I got toes. There were no front toe prints. The tracks were in a bunch of grass, real thick grass in a marsh, and where there's a stream, a downhill, underground, mostly underground stream, and there was patches of wet spots in this marsh grass. And the footprint was on top of marsh grass, and it was a big impression, and it looked like a big foot had been put there, but you couldn't see the toes. He was reading the toes into it. Well, this is where the toe would be. Or plastic would show you the toes, so we could tell that the plastic was just more between the legs and legs. So anyway, we were disappointed that it didn't really add up. But the area that we went to and around his house is just immensely thick woods, and I mean thick to the point of having tunnels in the stuff. There's animal tunnels all around his property. You know, deer, pigs, I don't know what all.
What's your school road?
Because it's so thick there.
At the top. At the very
He said a
top.
few years ago when he first moved there, he heard a scream. You know, a typical late night scream. But he said he moved away, then he moved back, and since he's been back, he has not heard any screams, but he said just recently he's been hearing thumping sounds.
Footfalls.
Like heavy footfalls or something jumping and landing heavily. And so when we went out to check it out, he said, oh, it's right down here. We thought it was going to be a short walk. It's down this hill, you know, way off, and way down in the bush, on slippery leaves, so you're slipping all the time when you're walking. And
Not stepping in poison.
yeah, and so we went through all that and went down and looked at the trackway that he was trying to show us, and there was a couple of apparent footprints. But so when we went down there, we asked him if we should bring our stuff. Is it going to be real close by? And he said, "Oh yeah, it's right here." And then of course we wasted all the time. We could have brought the material with us. So we went all the way back to the car. And at that point I said, you know, I'm an old man and my cardiologist told me not to climb too many hills. I'm going to wait and let Ralph go back there and do this. So Ralph took the camcorder.
Me and Mike.
They walked around, he and Mike, they walked around the perimeter of the property, and the people walked around and showed them where they'd heard the thumping sounds.
So that was the end of that. We got to go back to there, and you know, he's given us permission to set recorders up. And what's great, he's at the top of the hill, you know, where we got the screams at Nicey Marks. He's at the very top with a canyon going straight almost down to the ocean. Perfect. I mean, if anything, we heard motorcycles, we heard cars, siren, everything coming from miles away. So if anything's going to bust loose with a howl or a scream, we'll be there. The only problem is it's way up in Aptos. Kind of, Mike isn't far away from there, so hopefully we got some more recorders from Jerry. So we hopefully we can set some up there and do a couple of weeks of just nothing but sound recordings every night. See if we can find out if he's in that area. But man, I'm so pumped up now with Zayani going on over here. Yeah, I want to concentrate real hard
Seems
there.
much clearer.
Yes, plus it's the profile, it's 5 miles away. I mean, really, we don't have to go to Willow Creek or anything. It's 5 miles away from the museum. I've been out here at the museum watching my stuff at night. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard our quail hollow howler right here from the freaking museum. Right here. So we don't have to go in.
That sound carries 4 miles, 5 miles.
3 o'clock in the morning, there's nothing. It's dead. You can hear an ant
You
fart.
can hear an ant fart, yeah, exactly.
You know, it's dead. And we're in a bowl right here. We're just in a giant bowl.
Serious, I've stood outside
I've never
at 3
heard of
o'clock in the morning smoking a cigarette, and there's, it's like,
You can hear all the coyotes.
Okay, let's